The galaxy was in chaos. After centuries of conflict between various alien races, the once flourishing interstellar union had collapsed. Wars between species had ravaged entire star systems, while the elusive and deadly alien superintelligence known as the Vork had begun to dominate the galaxy. The Vork, with their advanced technologies and impenetrable weaponry, crushed every species that stood in their way. It seemed like the end, but then there was humanity. At the outer edges of the galaxy, in a distant solar system, an elite group of humans aboard the Odin's Wrath had been monitoring the situation from their base on the moon of a dead planet. For years, they had been preparing for the inevitable, the final stand against the Vork and the other alien empires that sought to wipe out humanity. The Council of Leaders had declared war, but it wasn't just any war. It was humanity's war for survival. On the bridge of the Odin's Wrath, Commander Lilla Morgan, a seasoned officer with a fierce determination in her eyes, stood at the helm. She looked at the star chart displayed before her, a web of galactic destruction. The Vork had systematically wiped out every civilization that had opposed them, from the peaceful Lemurians to the proud and strong Krillorians. Humanity was the last species standing against the tidal wave of doom. "Commander, the Vork are advancing towards the Sol system," Lieutenant Carter reported. His voice was steady, but there was an underlying tension that couldn't be ignored. Lila nodded, her fingers hovering over the console. "Activate the Hypernova protocol. It's time to show them who we are." With a single command, the ship's systems came alive. The Odin's Wrath was equipped with experimental technology that had been developed by humanity's brightest minds, technology far superior to anything the Vork had ever seen. A weapon capable of disrupting the quantum fabric of space itself, a weapon that could tear apart even the most impenetrable of shields. Humanity had spent years developing this weapon, working tirelessly in the shadows, knowing that if they ever revealed their true potential, it would be the only hope for the galaxy. The Vork had underestimated them. They thought humans were just another primitive species, no different from the thousands that had been wiped out in the past. But the Vork were about to learn just how wrong they were. The battle began with the Odin's Wrath flying headfirst into the Vork fleet, which was spread out like a vast, dark ocean of ships. Their colossal warships were anchored in orbit around a dying star, ready to wipe out everything in their path. The Vork ships were sleek and deadly, their weapons capable of annihilating entire fleets with a single shot. It seemed like there was no chance for humanity. But then the first wave of human fighters emerged from the hangar bays. Small, nimble craft armed with high-frequency plasma cannons and reinforced with advanced energy shields. The Vork had never faced such an unexpected assault. They were used to overpowering their enemies with sheer numbers and brute strength, but the humans were something entirely different. They fought with precision, ingenuity, and an unyielding will to survive. Lilla Morgan's voice crackled through the comms. "All units, engage. Do not give an inch." In the blink of an eye, the first wave of human ships collided with the Vork forces, leaving a trail of fire and destruction in their wake. The Vork retaliated with all their might, launching barrages of quantum disruptor beams and torpedoes. But humanity's fighters were faster, more agile, and better equipped. Their advanced stealth technology allowed them to slip past the Vork's sensors, striking hard and fast before disappearing into the chaos of the battle. On the ground, a group of human soldiers led a desperate offensive against the Vork's land-based installations on a distant planet. The Vork had occupied the planet for months, turning it into a fortress. But the human soldiers, equipped with exosuits and powered weapons, fought tooth and nail, pushing back the invaders with brutal efficiency. "We're not going down without a fight," Sergeant Ethan Hayes shouted, firing his energy rifle into a Vork soldier that had appeared out of thin air, cloaked in invisibility. The Vork stumbled backward, disintegrated by the blast, as Hayes and his squad advanced, clearing the area inch by inch. Back in space, the tide of the battle was beginning to turn. Despite the Vork's overwhelming firepower, they had underestimated the humans' ability to adapt and fight back. Their fighters moved in tight formations, weaving through the enemy's attacks like a deadly dance. The Odin's Wrath unleashed its quantum disruptor weapon, sending shockwaves through the fabric of space and tearing apart the Vork flagship. It was a moment of sheer triumph. This is humanity's fight. Lilla Morgan's voice rang through the comms, her tone filled with defiance. We are the last hope for the galaxy. The Vork, their once unstoppable fleet now in disarray, began to retreat, realizing that the human spirit could not be broken. The soldiers, the pilots, and the scientists had all done their part, and they had done it together. That humans had fought like no other species had ever fought before, refusing to give up, refusing to surrender. It wasn't just the technology that had won the day. It was the heart, the courage, and the determination of humanity. They had taken on a seemingly impossible enemy. They had emerged victorious. The battle was won, but the war was far from over. The Vork had learned a lesson they would never forget: never underestimate humanity. As the Odin's Wrath flew triumphantly through the shattered remnants of the Vork fleet, Commander Lilla Morgan looked out at the stars. There was still much to do, but humanity had proven something that day. It wasn't the end. Not for them, because humanity always finds a way to fix everything.